So let's welcome Saksham. Hello Saksham, how are you?
I'm good.
Saksham, before starting our video, let's have one small introduction to our viewers about you.
Okay. I'm Saksham Chaturvedi. I'm doing my master's in mechanical here at Politecnico di Milano. I did my bachelor's in Chennai, and I have 3 years of prior experience, and then
3 years of experience. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So Saksham, you are in first year or second year?
I'm in the second year of my master's. right
Second
now.
year of your master's. So Saksham, what was your percentage in bachelor's?
I got 84.3% in my bachelor's.
84 point. So
Yeah.
is there any like percentage requirement particular for Polytechnico di Milano? Like you should have like 70% above or 80% above to get admissions.
No, not specifically. If your profile is good enough, they don't have a cutoff on their website.
Okay.
But I don't know how the rules are changing because they have recently changed all of their courses and revamped it to a completely new model of studies, especially just for mechanical.
Okay.
And the main mode of selection usually for European universities is based on grades, and
Okay. And
there are English examinations, but Polyme is a good exception where they do not require IELTS if
it's
you have
option.
your
It's option.
yeah, it's optional.
Because many students will ask me, does IELTS matter, especially in the admissions or in the visa? So especially guys, especially in Polyme or in any university, just go do check the admission requirement. So if they need it as a mandatory, then they will mention, okay, you have to obtain the IELTS certificate minimum this band. So in Polyme there is a option. So whether you can submit the IELTS or you can submit the English proficiency certificate from your previous bachelor's. So as Saksham told, he submitted the IELTS, right?
Yeah, I submitted the IELTS, although it didn't matter because my course had clearly written on it in the final degree that this course was conducted in English,
Okay.
and that's more than enough.
Okay. So apart from like IELTS and which apart from the bachelor's degree, what other things we need to provide in order to get the admissions?
So, as far as I remember, there was the resume which you need to
Resume.
give, and the cover letter, which is the most important one.
Cover letter. Yes, because most of the students, they will think I have like 80% in my bachelor's, then I will get admissions in Italian university. So especially in Italy, not only the grade and apart from, as he told, the resume and cover letter. Cover letter in the sense motivation letter.
Yeah.
So that is super important too.
Yeah, it's the most important, I believe.
Yeah. So Saksham, how is mechanical studies in Italy, especially in Politecnico di Milano? How is this educations and other stuff? Can you give brief explanation about this course?
Yeah, so Polyme actually ranks really well in the mechanical rankings. According to QS, currently it's on the 6th position in the world.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
and it makes sense when you go to the college, you meet the professors, they are really incredible in their fields, and they are usually contacted by companies worldwide for any sort of solution. And the studies are quite different compared to India. They concentrate more on longevity of a product, so things like fatigue, crack propagation, and advanced manufacturing applications in mechanical. It's not similar to how a master's would be in India in that sense, because I have met people who did their masters from IITs, and it basically follows a more specialized course back in India. Here it's still generalized because the first year of your masters in mechanical has just common courses, and it's in the second year where you choose your track. Although that changed this year when they started specializing from the first year itself. So until now, this was the mode, and this is the mode in which I have studied.
Okay. So what about like theory and practical? Because many students, they share different opinions. Some students, they say, especially from Italy, that Italy focus more on the theory than the practical. But someone says like Italy focus more on practical than the theory. So what is in your field, especially?
Well, unfortunately, it is true. It's very theoretical here.
Okay.
The first year, specifically speaking, the research side, of course, is practical. You have to prove what you theorize. But the thing is, it's an advantage in its own way because the exams here are really difficult. So the thing that makes sense is that they try to they put you in a position where you have to know your basics well. If you
Okay.
don't, you can't clear the exams.
Yes.
Because almost all exams have the same procedure. You have a written exam,
Mhm.
then you have an oral written exam,
Okay.
and then you have an oral one-on-one with the professor.
Oh,
So
so you have
you-
different format of examinations.
Yeah, different format, and you cannot escape it. You need to know the course, or
Mhm.
else you cannot clear the subject. So
Oh.
it's extremely theoretical, which
Mhm.
makes your base in mechanical well. So
Okay.
that is a good thing.
Okay, and what about the professors and the way of their teaching and the relationship between student and the professor? You know, it's really very important apart from the education.
The professors, just like in India, they're quite
Mhm.
approachable.
Mhm.
Although I think if I have to differentiate, in
Mhm.
Italy you just can't approach them to ask a doubt after the class.
Mhm.
Professors are quite busy, so
Mhm.
you will have to book an appointment with them through an email. Sometimes it takes even a week to find a slot where they are free,
Mhm.
and you'll have to make yourself
Mhm.
free at that moment for them.
Okay. Mhm.
So the first priority is given to them,
Mhm.
and they are really approachable. I've found almost all the professors to be really nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been a good experience, I would say.
Okay. So how is the job market, especially in this field, in Italy or in Europe? Can you give your whatever knowledge you have?
Yeah, in this case, yes, there's a very stark difference between Europe and India, especially for mechanical engineers, because mechanical engineers, there's a lot of demand here.
Mhm.
And especially here in Italy, there's a lot of demand as well.
Mhm.
And there are criteria though to clear like the interviews, because you're in Europe, there are many languages here, and language does become important,
Yeah.
especially if you're talking about a field like being in production, being a manager, or just being in a position where you'll have to interact with vendors who are Italian, or
Mhm.
probably people from workshop. So you need to know Italian on a conversational level,
Okay.
and many companies also do require written Italian
Oh.
capabilities.
So guys, especially if you're coming to Europe, not only in Italy, in any country in Europe, so local language is super important. And also I think 2 years back, Italian universities, they made mandatory things that if you want to graduate from especially, I don't know about other universities, but especially from Politecnico di Milano, you have to get the Italian language certificate, I think B1 or B2 something. Then only you will be able to graduate, because that is super important if you are, because as Saksham told that basic language is mandatory in order to get the job and also in order to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so language is the most important thing if you want to really get the job in Italy or in any part of Europe, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So Saksham, as because many students they will message me specifically regarding the examinations, so they will say, is it easy to get good marks or pass in Italian universities and other stuff? So how you will describe about the examinations about Italy?
I would say I didn't mention that the exams are difficult, but I
Mhm.
should have added the fact that it's very subjective.
Mhm.
It depends from person to person on how
Okay.
they gauge difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm to mention the hard part of this, it is that you can give it any number of times you want. You can give the
Okay.
test infinite times.
Oh.
There are 5 calls in a year,
Mm-hmm.
so you'll have each call, and you can give it on each call without a problem.
Okay, okay.
But the issue comes with the difficulty, because the professors make it in such a way that you can't really clear it just by studying
Mhm.
a week. So
Mhm.
usually, in general, you need to start studying months before for the exam,
Exams, okay.
which is not a common practice in India.
Yeah, because
And-
we do especially one day batting, they will say something say, so that will not work here.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
So as yes, I think Saksham, you want to say that if you really want to pass in a better way, then you have to really prepare. You have to pre-plan before 1 week. 1 month.
1 month easily.
Yeah, then if you do, then it's easy to pass. So those who are saying, because I will receive number of questions section really, so on my Instagram, even on the comments, especially many will say that it's really hard to get past in the examination, and also you know, especially about the scholarship. So
Yes.
if you do not pass, if you do not get the minimum number of credits, you will lose your scholarship, and many students they have lose their scholarship because they didn't clear the examination. So as Saksham told, if you really work hard before 1 month of the examination, then I think it's super easy. And also here, especially in Italy, we have like 3-4 attempts, so that you can pass exam easily, because you will have like 4-5 attempts as Saksham.
5 in an year, yeah.
5 in a year, so it's really a good chance. So if someone do not want to utilize even those 5 times, then no one can do anything. So yeah.
Nothing specifically negative. Again, this would be very subjective depending on the person. But I would say, if you're not looking forward to learning a new language, you should not come to Italy.
Okay.
And secondly, it is going to be harder than you think, because the Indian system of education revolves around more conceptually, less practically, in the sense that you don't have to practice the numericals again and again. And here the numericals are very difficult in that sense. So just to give you an example, in India, if you're a mechanical engineer, you would have done machine design. And my question paper for machine design was something like this. You have a submarine, it's going 4 kilometers underwater. It hits a surface at a certain angle, and unfortunately there's a stress that's developed inside and a crack at a certain location. So in how many cycles would the crack grow, and in how much time would the submarine be critical in terms of the structural integrity? So these are very diverse numerical problems you get in every exam.
Okay.
And you need to be prepared for everything.
Okay. So Saksham, at the end, like few positive points about studying in Italy that you like about especially Italy, and maybe the university, maybe the food, whatever it may be related to Italy. So can you give some points?
Yeah, and the previous question, I haven't really finished the comment.
Okay,
there is one negative thing which is very evident. It's the bureaucracy in Italy, and it's very bad. You have to stand in line for your permits and other things. So it was how I read it on the Google and Reddit forums before coming here. It is actually the reality. It's even worse than India.
Okay, yeah,
But,
and also it takes really super time. It will take too much time, and you have to do a lot of things. They are not as that of advanced than India.
Yeah, so
we have to accept that. Yeah.
But the good points, yes, you get an international exposure, and the pursuit of your studies in Ptolemy really changes your character, and it demands hard work from you. Okay. So I think it's a good thing in that sense.
Okay.
And also, I feel like some people complain about the fact that in Italy people don't speak English as much here in Milan, but I found it to be positive, because it forces you to learn Italian, which is an easy language, to be honest. So yeah, I've really had some good experiences here in Ptolemy. I've enjoyed it.
So what about the food, Italian food? So how you want to comment on Italian food?
I wouldn't want to offend the Italians, but we Indians would find certain things bland. Although I love the simplicity of foods, a lot of flavor does come from the actual vegetables and the other things present, rather than the masalas. And yeah, it's good. It's a different experience trying a new thing, but at the end of the day, after a week of having pastas, you need something Indian.
Yeah, Indian stuff to give taste to our tongue, right?
Yeah, certainly.
And what about the advantage of like being in Italy, and like the possibilities of traveling to all other European countries? So how you see it? Because even I think you have traveled to other European countries. So is it good to come to Italy and also get exposure to other European countries?
Oh yes, certainly. All you need is just the Shenzhen visa, and I think it's incredible. You can go. It's like being in India in a way. When you cross the border to another state, the language changes, the font, the texts change on shops, and it's the same experience here. But yeah, it's really great.
Okay, Saksham, let's close these things, and at the end, do you want to suggest one or two points to students who are coming to Italy?
I wouldn't have a specific suggestion, but I would just say that you will be told a lot of things, and you will try your best to collect a lot of information. Some of it will be true, some of it you will find it to be false, but at the end of the day, you will find a way to make everything work. So it'll be a good experience. Okay,
so thank you so much, Saksham, for sharing your valuable information regarding studies in Italy, and especially about the mechanical studies in Italy, right? Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering, yes.
Okay, so thank you, Saksham, and see you in another video. And I have taken room tour of Saksham Bhai, so I think maybe it will come before of this video or after. So I will also put the link in the description, so you can see the Saksham Bhai room tour. Thank you, Saksham, once again.
See you in another video. Bye bye. Ciao.